so happy to be here, and I hope that you are as well. So today's video is going to be a fun one, and I hope that it is relaxing for you. I hope that it is entertaining for you. I hope that whatever you come to ASMR videos for, it gives you that. Okay. So thank you for being here. If you haven't yet, of course, follow on all the socials, do the subscribe thing, follow on Twitch. Those are all at Matty Tingles. Just thank you for being here and continuing to support this channel. Yeah, it just keeps going, which is amazing. So that doesn't happen without all of you. So thank you for your support. So today's video is going to be what's on my phone video, which is always I think really interesting. I love watching these kind of videos. It's just always interesting to see how people organize their things and kind of live their life, if you will. So what I'm going to do with this video is obviously I'm going to show you everything that's on my phone, and I'll just screen capture everything I'm doing on here. So I guess I'm gonna move to one side or the other so I can put, maybe like I'll put the phone here, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna move over. Okay, so also I think I've said this many times, but phone tapping is probably my favorite sound and trigger for ASMR. So let's get right to it. So I will start recording here right now, and we should be on now. Boom. Okay, so that's what my home screen looks like. So I've always done this thing where the first, like your home, when you open the phone up, I don't like having a lot of stuff on it for some reason. So I've always done this thing where I just have apps on the top and the very bottom, of course. I'm not sure why. I guess it's because I like seeing the wallpaper. I'm actually not sure why I do that anymore. I guess it's just a habit, but it's just like a more clean look to me instead of opening my phone and just seeing all the apps at once, I guess, if that makes sense. So, that's the home screen. It's like the Galaxy background. I think it's the one that comes with the phone. That's the home screen. So up top, we have Mail. Definitely one of my most used apps on the phone. Just having a few different email accounts on that, and that's Mail. Photos, so we can go into photos, and okay, I don't know how that got on there. That's weird. I don't know how that happened, but that's photos. Weather, and clock. So Mail, photos, weather, and clock up top. Okay. And I use clock all the time too for alarms and all of that. Okay, so then on the bottom we have messages. And the reason I have messages on the bottom left, it just makes sense to me, is because I use my left hand to hold the phone most of the time. And so it's the closest thing to my thumb, if that makes sense. So like if I'm holding the phone, it's just right here. And then the phone, Safari, and then camera. So those are like screen. Alright, I put it on airplane mode because there's things popping up, but so yeah, that's the first home screen. Alright, so let's go over. Now we're getting into the good stuff. So up top we have Pinterest, which I don't use very often, but I find myself, if I'm looking for an idea for like a recipe, I use Pinterest a lot for recipes, or just ideas for anything creative. Pinterest is a really good platform for getting inspiration on things like that. So and then the next thing over is YouTube and Twitch. So that's a folder. We'll click on that, and that has YouTube, and then YouTube Studio, which is basically for YouTubers. It's like your analytics and how all your numbers are doing. Next is Reddit, and then AdSense, which AdSense is how you get paid from ads from YouTube, right? So that's how people doing YouTube for a living make a living. Twitch, Social Blade, and then Discord. So these are all my things that are like, my all my video streaming things all in one place, if that makes sense. Alright, next is extras. So these are all just things that come on the phone that I just always put in the same folder. So there's the compass, there's tips, there's contacts, calculator, FaceTime, watch, and find my device. And what's funny is, like, it's so funny how our brains work, because I use the calculator at least 5 to 10 times a day, and I should totally have it out on a main thing and not in a folder. But the way my brain is programmed to remember where things are on my phone, I can get there just as quick, if that makes sense. I just know where it is. So that's a weird little thing. Calendar. So it's Friday, January 31st. Next we have IMDb. And that's another app that I use all the time. Obviously, if you know me very well, you know I'm really into movies, and so I'm always looking up who's who and what's what. I'll open that up really quick and show you the movie that I was in, the Reese movie. That's me on IMDb, and that's me right there in the cast with GB Darling, ALB, and Seafoam, and directors Jamie Weber. Shout out to Jamie, by the way, he was awesome. But I'm just always really happy to be on IMDb. That's big time. Alright, I'm gonna turn airplane mode back on. Okay, so then next we have ESPN. Of course, use that all the time. Big sports fan. Voice memos. That's pretty self-explanatory. Amazon is next. Use that all the time. I probably shouldn't, but yeah, use that all the time. Notes. Notes is super important for me. I think everyone works differently, and notes for me is I write down a lot of stuff in notes. I use that a lot throughout the day, just writing ideas down. So notes. Next is Experian, and that's just credit score tracking. And then the next two are Fandango and Regal. And Fandango, of course, is just to buy movie tickets. But I don't really use that anymore, because the next one is called Regal, and Regal is what all the movie theaters around here where I live are. And Regal is through that company where all the theaters are. It's the unlimited movies. So I love that. So in that app, I don't really use Fandango anymore because it's the same thing. folder here of sounds. So this is Spotify, Apple Music, Spotify for artists, and that's if you're on Spotify, that's where you can look at your analytics and stuff. Podcast, title, and then Audible. So, speaking of Audible, today's video is sponsored by Audible, and I'm just going to talk to you for a second about it because it is an awesome product, and it really is on my phone, and I really do use it. So Audible is the leading provider of spoken word entertainment, okay? And today they're offering a free trial for my viewers, all right? So with Audible, you get 1 credit per month for any title on the platform, plus 2 Audible originals. Okay, so that's 3 awesome things a month, right? And then you also get access to daily news digest, which is like New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Washington Post, stuff like that, which is awesome. So then once you're in, you can download titles and listen to them offline, anytime, anywhere. Okay, and that's what I love, is like you can download whatever you're listening to, and then let's say you go somewhere with bad service, right? You can still listen to it because it's downloaded to your device. The app is free and can be installed on any smartphone or tablet. Okay, you can listen across your devices without losing your spot, right? So let's say you're on your phone and you start listening to it, and then you get home and you're on a different device. As long as you're signed in, obviously, to the account, you can pick up where you left off, which I think is awesome. And then the coolest thing to me is that if, let's say you don't spend your credit that month, it rolls over to the next one, and you can just roll those credits up if you're not using it up to a year. So that's awesome, actually. So as you can see, I've been listening to ASMR for Your Bedtime, which is this is the book Unwind Your Mind by Whispers Red. Big shout outs to Whispers Red. So I've been listening to that, but so today I have a credit. So this one looked really, really cool. This is called The Worry Trick, and this is how your brain tricks you into expecting the worst and what you can do about it, by David Carbonell, PhD. So stuff like that I'm really interested in, where it's like it makes you think about how you're going through life and your mindset and all of that. If you want to call it self-help, you can, but it's more, for me, it's just kind of inspiring. So yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to add library, confirm user credit. Done. View in library, and now it's there, right there. 6 hours, so it's going to download, and done deal. Okay. So anyway, that is Audible. So here's the deal. They're offering a free trial, like I said, to my viewers. So all you have to do is go to audible.com/Matty. They gave me my own link. Audible.com/Matty. Or even easier, you can text Matty to 500. So actually, I already did that. And this is what it looks like. So I typed Matty to 500, and it pops up. Explore all the ways listening can help improve mind, body, and soul. Try Audible free. Audible.com/Matty. All right, that's all you gotta do. So thank you, Audible, and I hope you guys check it out because it really is an awesome app and product. Okay, so out of the sounds thing, we have the App Store, of course, Google Drive, which I use a lot, First Tech, which is my bank, Maps, which is awesome. I don't know, I keep hearing people complain about the Maps thing, but I love it. Alright, the next thing is Venmo, Cash App, Coinbase, and PayPal. Those are just, money apps. FanDuel, which is an app for putting money down on sports. It's really fun. So then next we have Messenger, and then Twitter, row here is probably my most used apps, right? So it's Twitter, the Z's app, which in the description you can go join Z's. It's an awesome app for ASMR, created by GB and her fiance Ben. It's amazing. I'm sure you've heard of it, but that's the Z's app. Instagram and Facebook. All right, and then next page we have OfferUp and Groupon, which I think I've only used a couple times, but they're there. Dropbox, and then games. I hardly ever really play games on my phone, but there they are. if you want. That's pretty much it. Food and travel, or travel and food. So this is like airlines and Uber Eats and stuff like that. Speed test, just to test your internet speed wherever I'm at. Photo stuff is just editing things, Lightroom, GIF Maker, Boomerang, that kind of stuff. And then let's see, eBay, and then the VidCon app, and I used that a lot last year. The Measure app, which I don't know why that should be in the extras for iPhone thing. Progressive, that's my car insurance. TouchTunes is if you go to bars and stuff with the music playing, it's like the digital jukebox to play music wherever you're at. Scooters, so that's like Razor, Lime, the scooters. And then next is Hulu, Netflix, and Disney Plus. So those are just the video streaming apps. Starbucks, American Express, Mod Pizza. Mod is a pizza place here. I mean, there's a lot of them, but you can get rewards for scanning in 7-Eleven. And then LifeX. LifeX is the app to control my colored lights here and on stream. The control center, that's Elgato for the key light that I have from Elgato. StockX is where I get a lot of my shoes. Streamlabs is to stream from your phone. Pretty cool. And then we have iMovie, Keynote, Pages, and those are, of course, iMovie is if you want to edit a video on your phone. Keynote is basically, a slideshow thing, and Pages is basically Apple's Word. So, and then next is Nike, and that's the only reason I have that is sometimes they send out like 10% off, 15% off, whatever, at their stores. Sevens is a game, which that should also be in my games, and that is basically like a game like Pyramid, put out by a podcast that I follow really closely, called Never Not Funny. It's a really funny podcast and app. iTunes U, GarageBand, and then these are also things that come with the phone that should be in the other one. These are also things that should be in the thing that came with the phone. I gotta work on that. And then Docs, Ticketmaster, for events, TripAdvisor, Clips, Adapt, which you'll see soon. Trilla is an app to look at homes for sale. Truebill is a really cool app that basically just helps you with all your bills. Reminders, TikTok bite and settings. So I personally always like to have settings on the far right, like all the way over if I can. I'm not even sure why, but it's just like the easiest to find, I guess. And then TikTok and Byte, I just downloaded. I really struggle with it because I don't really like short form media, but there's no denying that it's working. So I made an account on TikTok and Byte, which are just both at Matty Tingles. I uploaded a video yesterday to it, and then woke up and I was not TikTok famous yet, so kind of disappointed. I'm kidding. But But anyway, if you want to follow on there, it's just that Matty Tingles. And then settings. And so that is my phone. So yeah, that is my phone. I honestly, like, obviously I use my phone a lot, but mainly it's for work and to talk to people. I don't do a lot of gaming on it. I don't do, I would say, I don't really have anything on here that's like extravagant or crazy, just because like, I try to do all of that in real life. But there are some amazing apps like Audible, of course, stuff like that are super useful. And yeah, man, I don't know. It's always a weird thing where it's like these things are so amazing, and they do things that no one ever thought in history that it would do. But also, like, it's if you go anywhere, everyone's like this, right? So it's a weird pros and cons thing. Anyway, yeah, that's what's on my phone. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that it was relaxing for you. This is obviously a largely whispered video, but I just thought it would be a fun video, and also, to show you Audible. What better way than to actually show you, right? So, once again, thank you to Audible for sponsoring this video, and you can get Audible through my personal link that they gave me, which is audible.com/Matty, audible.com/Matty, or text Matty to 500-500. Okay, so that's gonna do it for today's video. I'm so happy to be uploading consistently again. I know last year was kind of inconsistent, but this year I think I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, so I think I'm doing pretty good this year. This will be my 8th video in January. So that's 2 a week. I'm gonna try to push it to 3 if I can, but I'm pretty happy with at least uploading consistently for a month. I try to put something up every 3 to 4 days. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. It's just a crazy ride, and it continues to go, and that doesn't happen